Alright, going on to game number 3. Here in the third, fourth place match, it is Julia versus TerrOr, and the score is 1-all. Whoops, that's not Electric Circuit. That is Wind and Cloud, yes, excellent. So, Wind and Cloud for the third map, fairly open 4-player map. I don't think a Lurker Slow Drop will work on this map. Well, actually, now that I think about it, there is a little bit of an area where you can, or where the main is very close to the outside of the map, so I guess you can still do it, although it's not quite as easy. Anyway, that was a pretty interesting game last game. I thought for sure Julia had it after that really good meter harass in the beginning, but, you know, a couple of micro mistakes there, possibly some lag, I don't know. And suddenly lost all the mutas, and then did a really weird suicide of those lurkers, so I don't know what that was about. That definitely wasn't lag. But, yeah, let's see if you can pull it back here in game number 3. Here we go. Alright, game number 3 at the top right is the yellow Terran. We have TerrOr. At the bottom left as the white Zerg, we have Julia. So we're cross positions once again. And, well, let me show you guys what I was talking about earlier. So, let's go to TerrOr's main over here. So this is the inside of TerrOr's main. And this is the outside of the map. So you can see there's this little sliver of land here where it's pretty short and you can drop across. Now that I think about it, I wonder if you can drop ghosts in these. I'm not sure. It looks like you might be able to. Not that it would be that useful, but it'd be funny if you could. Anyway, yes, so that is a potential Lurker slow dropping position. But I don't think we'll see that on this map. I am doubtful. We could see 2H Mute again. That's a fairly robust build on most maps. And I would imagine TerrOr's just going to 1-Rex expand again. This map does favor some macro builds. So nothing crazy going on so far. Julie did go overpool last game, but it was a 2-player map. I'd imagine 12 hatch is preferable on Wind and Cloud. But no, he is going to overpool again. Okay. I mean, I guess you're also less likely to get scouted on a 4-player map, so you might be able to get lucky and kill him if he's being greedy, but I don't know. I think 12 hatch on a big 4-player map is probably better. Having said that, Siki always plays overpool like everywhere in every matchup, so I guess it can work. Anyway, first Overlord of course went vertically as standard. Usually the first SCV went horizontally, although he's sending a second one out now, so TerrOr doing a double scout, doesn't want to get 9 pulled into Oblivion. Like Skyline did. I think actually, yeah, Skyline I think went for a 12cc on this map against Julia. And Julia either went overpool or 9-pull. I can't remember which actually, but basically the Lynx came in, he didn't have a barracks yet, so he just typed out immediately. Anyway, first SCV sees the Overlord. Second SCV should go home. I don't know why they're both going there. Look at this, TerrOr's actually got both SCVs going over there, so it looks like he might have been like... Oh no, he's sending one back now. Okay, I was wondering, because I was like, is he gonna go there, and if he sees a 12 hatch, just bunker rush? Because TerrOr's done that before. He actually did that against Technics on Outsider, just like a really delayed bunker rush. But no, looks like it's not going to happen, obviously with the pool done already. It looks like a drone is coming here. Oh, he wants the gas deal! Or not. No, just kidding, he doesn't. Nah, lol. Julia does like the gas deal a lot, but he didn't do it that time. Yoink. Now, we do have some links coming over here. And by moving that drone in, he's actually drawn the Marines away. But it looks like they're going to get back just barely in time. Ooh, that was close. Oh. Should be fine. 3 SCVs blocking. Oh, wait, he's got to not go down the ramp, though. That's a little bit dangerous. Luckily, there's only 4 lings left. actually have a 3-hatch opening here from Julia. Presumably will be a 3-hatch Muta. I don't think 3-hatch Lurker is particularly good on this map. In fact, nowadays it's just not very good in general, but there are some specific maps where it's good. So, in the meantime, we're just going to have a more like expand. In response to those early things, of course, TerrOr once again building it inside his main base instead of at his natural directly. Even though, you know, we can see that there's no additional links coming, so he could have safely built out of the bottom of his ramp. But TerrOr doesn't know that, so, you know, he's just going to play it safe. And I think that's completely reasonable. For all he knew, there could have been some follow-up random link all-in or something. Although it's fairly unlikely. And also the SCV Scout going to get denied here. Now this is quite cute, because, you know, Julia deliberately blocking the ramp to block the SCV Scout, but he's not doing anything out of the ordinary. He's playing a completely normal 3-hatch lair. But because TerrOr doesn't see it, you know, he's got to be a little bit scared. He's like, oh, you know, why is he blocking the ramp? Is he going 2-hatch Lurker Ling all in? Is he going 2-hatch Muta again? You know, he doesn't really know what's going on back there. It looks like he's going to add 2... Oh, I'm sorry, there's the Academy already. Ah, so he's again going for the Fast Gas Academy into 2 more barracks here. This seems to be some kind of unique build ordering. You know what, I'm not saying build order. It's still a normal 1-racks into bio build order-ish thing, but the exact... Well, I guess technically this is a build order. This is like the definition of a build order, but I mean, he's basically doing a standard bio opening, but with a slightly unusual order of the buildings. It probably doesn't make much sense. I hope I'm at least getting some idea across here. Basically what I'm trying to say is, his mid-game is going to look identical. His mid-game infrastructure is going to look identical to, you know, 95% of other TVZs, but the way that he's getting there is a little bit weird. Going for the Academy into 2 more barracks. Yes, I think that summed it up nicely. Now, interestingly, we actually do have 3-hatch Lurker here, despite what I was saying about it not being that good on this map. I'm a little bit curious about this. So, 3-hatch Lurker is just not something you see very often nowadays. It's almost always 3-hatch Muta. I'm wondering if maybe Julia was concerned because of what happened last game, where his Mutas failed after doing really well, and he doesn't want that to happen again, so he's like mixing it up with the Lurkers here. He is actually getting Overlord speed again, though, so this could lead into drops. But, you know, they're cross-map. He doesn't actually really have that many Overlords in position. I'm not totally convinced by this. We'll have to see what happens when he actually does it. Meanwhile, more Lings randomly patrolling here. Well, not randomly. They're deliberately scouting all these bases. Look at this. I really like this by Julia, because one Zergling costs you essentially nothing. And he's just making sure that, you know, in the few random cases where the Terran would try and take a hit in expansion, he's going to scout it. Now, actually, I said there weren't Overlords in position, but I was completely wrong, because there's actually 1 Overlord behind the natural and 1 behind the main. So Julia is actually positioning himself to go for Lurker drops in both mineral lines, and that could be very effective. And now Overlord's being finished, he's got to be a little bit careful, though. Yeah, his Overlord actually comes here a little bit too late. The Marines have already left, but he should have Lurkers out anyway, so it doesn't make a huge difference. Now, oh, I thought he was sending out a drone. I was wondering where he's going to take his third. Is he going to take the close third here, the 6 o'clock, or the 9 o'clock? Or is he going to take a farther away third? If you're opening Lurkers, I think taking the close third is probably safer compared to when you open Mutas and go for the further one. Ooh, it looks like it is lagging a little bit, so that could definitely contribute to Julia's choice to go Lurkers. Of course, when you go for a Muta opening, you definitely want as low latency and as little lag as possible for your Muta micro. So, going for Lurkers is less dependent. Anyway, there's a couple Lurkers running in here. Oh, they're gonna get spotted though, but Lurkers are pretty speedy, so they probably will be able to escape here. Yeah, the Marine's just gonna back up. Meanwhile, the drone though is going to the bottom right, so it looks like Julia is actually just gonna take this base instead of a close one, and just gonna block that with 2 Lurkers, which is completely fine. But again, basically, he's not going to have a Spire for a long time, so he's going to be a little bit careful about dropships and whatnot. It's going to be a little bit more tricky to defend those. You know, he's not going to have the mobile Mutaforce, he's not going to have Scourge. So, you know, even though these guys defend the ramp very well, if a dropship does go in, he'll be in a little bit more trouble. And we do have the Starport with Control Tower almost done here. Although TerrOr doesn't seem to make dropships before vessels in his games. He always just seems to wait for the vessel. You know, because you have to wait for the science facility to finish, a lot of players will just make one dropship first, so that the starport doesn't stay idle. But TerrOr doesn't seem to do that, which I think is a bit of a waste, because I think getting that initial drop is very, very useful. Meanwhile, it looks like we have 2 Lords heading to the 12 o'clock. No lurkers in them, though, a bit surprising. I thought he was going to try and lurker drop, but there are turrets lining the perimeter of the base, though, so TerrOr is very aware of the possibility. I don't actually know if he's seen the speed overloads now. Presumably he has, which is why he's doing that. Meanwhile, doing a nice little split there. Using 5 Marines for 2 lurkers, well worth it for him. But otherwise, he's not being overly aggressive. And so Julia's just going to take a third, and again going for Hydra Lurker for a 3rd game in a row, and also going for the fast hive. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about. I like seeing Hydra Lurker as a strategy. It's very exciting, but I'm not convinced that going for the fast hive at the same time is the best way to do it. I mean, it did work for him in game number 1, but it was a pretty close game. I guess we'll see. It's like a poor SCV here trapped behind the gas. Meanwhile, random Hydra guy, gonna go chill with the drone. Oh, he's actually patrolling as well. And there's the first dropship coming out. So this is what I'm talking about. There's no Spire, I don't think. Nope, that was a Queen's Nest. Yeah, there's no Spire, so no chance of this getting Scourged. And he's only got a couple of Lurkers here, a couple of Lings as well. They don't even have Ling speed, so it's gonna be very difficult for him to actually deal with these. With good micro, these 7 Marines can easily take care of these 2 Lurkers. So, yeah. This is going to be quite painful. Let's see how Julia can actually stop this. Marines instantly coming in here, targeting the hatchery. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is just going to die. I don't think these 2 lurkers can actually deal with it as long as TerrOr's paying attention. Which he's not, so maybe they can deal with it. Oh, no, he's paying attention now. Oh, is he going to drop here? Or is he going to go for the main? Wow, he's actually not even going to try. Oh, no, he's just getting a better position. Okay. Meanwhile, he's also moving out with the main army, although the lurkers are burrowed. Oh, he's got to be careful. Oh, he scans, but he doesn't commit. He just goes around. I think it's probably for the better. I think he would have got owned if he tried to micro that down. Unless he had some amazing micro. In the meantime, this drop is actually just stopped here. And, oh, he's going in now. Is he going to scan? He's not, but he's actually just out of range of the lurkers. No, he's just in range of lurkers. My bad. And this drop does actually a lot less damage than I expected, just because he doesn't even try to micro. I'm a little bit surprised by that. Although TerrOr isn't particularly known for having great medic marine control, but still, could have at least made an effort, I think. Anyway, he's moving away on 4 barracks. He's got his 3rd command center already on the way, so it's relatively quick, actually, compared to what he did in the last couple of games. Or I guess in the first game, mainly. Meanwhile, the drop is now going to the main base, and this is actually completely undefended, so this could actually do a good amount of damage. Although I think Julia's pulling some units back now to help deal with this. She just goes for some drones here. He's gonna go for some gas drones. He's still got 3 Marines. Should be targeting drones. Should be targeting the drones. Yep, does get 3 gas drones. So that's quite nice. Meanwhile, the main medic marine force is running around on the map, getting some map control. That's a good amount of lurkers, but they don't have supporting units. He's gonna be a little bit careful with them. And TerrOr also should be careful with his medic marine. And these do have +1 range attack against the +1 armor for the medic marine, so those basically cancel each other out. Meanwhile, lurker's moving in once again. He's gonna not lose a lurker. Have there been any lurker drops here? No, this turret's covering everything, so it doesn't look like that's possible. TerrOr even building a 2nd turret here just to make sure he doesn't get dropped in the main. Very dangerous to have 2 lurkers dropped in while you're not paying attention. Uh-oh, we could have some tanks sniped. Ooh, not quite. A couple of tanks in the red there. Almost losing a couple more tanks. That would have been pretty deadly. However, these lurkers, there's one at the ramp, it seems. It could potentially be a stack of lurkers, but either way, these siege tanks will dislodge it soon. However, while this has been going on, Julia's actually gotten the other corner base, and I actually really like this move by Zerg. I really think Zerg should do this more often, getting like both corners. Like Eon Zerg actually does this quite a bit. Because if you're going for a relatively fast hive anyway, you're going to have the Nidus Canal connecting your bases, so it doesn't matter how far away by ground they are, you could just get instant reinforcements to those bases. So you might as well take corner experts and force the Terran to walk all the way across the map, and you can just use a Nidus. Although a few Marines are here, they might be able to stop that. But the bigger problem is that Julia doesn't actually have enough units here. He's finally bringing some units out of the Nidus, but there are only a few coming out. And this Nidus, if it falls, could be in big trouble here. Oh man, Julia, though, looks like is forcing the Marines back a little bit. The tanks are not coming onto the high ground for some reason. So Julia may still be able to hold on to the space, but he has lost his 3rd gas, crucially. Meanwhile, finally getting a Spire as well on the back of his natural, and it looks like the Terran army is actually just pulling out here. They got a few kills, they know they don't have enough units to actually commit, so they're moving out. And meanwhile, these 5 Marines at the top left are actually going to be able to finish off this hatchery, so that doesn't quite take off for Julia. So Julia back down to his 3 bases, but that's okay, as Terran's still on 2, but Terra is now floating out to take that 3 o'clock base. Now, Julia does see that with his Overlord. He's got a couple of lurkers already in position to help deny that. He should probably burrow these right now and make them stop lurkers and then kill the SCVs when they get there. That would be an amazing move. Oh my, come on, dude, burrow it, burrow it, burrow! Stop lurker him in the face! By the way, you can see Julia's minerals going really high and his gas staying low because he's lost his 3rd gas. And, you know, he's gone for his Defiler tech while going for Hydro Lurk. That's very, very gas intensive, and this is part of the reason why I say going for a fast hive while going Hydro Lurk is not very feasible, because you use all that extra gas on the Hydras and the Hydra upgrades that you can't really afford the hive tech. Meanwhile, these are burrowed. Now the question is, are they stop lurkered? It looks like it doesn't matter. Yes, they were stop lurkered actually. He had the same idea as I did. Unfortunately for him, Terra does send his army over here. That would have been a really amazing move if that had worked. So, you know, nice attempt there by Julia. That was definitely, I mean, look at this. If he had the 2 lurkers here stopped and just killed all the SCVs, would have been a huge win for him. So a little bit unfortunate. That didn't work, but I guess it was kind of natural for the Terran to check that. It would have been a bit of a mistake for Terror to allow those SCVs to die if that had happened. Anyway, he's moving an army down here. A few Hydro Link coming in. Not many lurkers, though. It's a little bit concerning. But Defiler coming in the back. Really needs that Defiler to do something. Oh, man, he's got to do something now. He's got a Swarm. Where's the Swarm? Oh, my God, he doesn't have Consume. He's at 92 energy. Consume not yet finished and costing him a big chunk of his army here, and look at this big Terran ball go. Terra actually really on top of his macro. Look at his 156 supply already, and Julia's only at 89. I mean, there hasn't really been that much going on in the game, and yet Terra is just massively ahead in the supply. I don't know how this has happened. Although he's not paying attention and not mining here. And interestingly, Terra's actually got a lot of money banked as well, despite having a crazy supply blocked and floating over 1,000 minerals and 1,000 gas. Just a little bit curious. Julia, meanwhile, also floating minerals, but with very little gas to spare, and it looks like he's going to lose his space. I don't really see how he's going to hold it. I don't know why there's no Defilers here. I mean, is it just the lack of gas again? He can't bring Defilers? Look, he's got some lurks at the top, but without Defilers, there's no real way for him to actually engage his force head-on. Well, Terra's still not mining with these. Oh my God, he just put him on the gas and didn't mine. Oh man, that is a lot of lost income there, although I guess since he's already floating that many minerals, maybe it's not a huge deal. Looks like Julia going for the counterattack here, but not going to happen. This is the rally point, it looks like, for this back. So the 5 random Marines from the top left are actually going down to the 9 o'clock, but they're going to get skewered easy peasy. You know, looks like Terra just leaving the siege tanks there to finish off the hatchery and not going to worry about it anymore. Bringing the Marines back now, but with that Dark Storm there, you can't really do much about this. Luckily actually saving this 1 siege tank. It looks like Terra finally restarting the mine here at the 3 o'clock. And again, having random idle Marines. I don't know how this happens. How do you lose like 4 Marines? Were they on a separate hockey or something? Maybe they were on like the medic hockey and he switched them out or something? I don't really know how he does his hockeys. It must be some weird hockey explanation. Anyway, about a 60 supply lead now for Terra. Julia just making sure he's not getting the 12, but you know, Julia's on 3 base against the Terran 3 base. Actually, technically, Julia does have this 4th base. He's only mining the gas, which is the most useful part, I guess. Meanwhile, oh man, look at this Terra abusing this little cliff area outside this natural expansion. Really obnoxious position for Terrans to abuse. Meanwhile, did he just consume something that went into the extractor and not consume it? That was kind of weird, but it looks like a single lurker drop is going to come over here to the 3 o'clock, and that could be really, really effective. There's nothing here defending him. I'm a little bit surprised there's not even a single siege tank or turret, and if Terra doesn't notice this, he could lose a lot of SCVs. It looks like he does notice, though. Good reaction there from Terra. So the main army is going towards the left. Some reinforcements going to come clean up the lurker. The Father hasn't dropped. Those Marines just shoot the command center. Do you guys see that? I could have sworn those Marines shot the command center. Meanwhile, there's a bit of an engagement at the front here, and Julia, unfortunately, not really keeping control of his army. So the lurkers are going to hold on under the Dark Storm, but losing most of the Hydras there. And looks like this lurker is going to fall. I don't know what happened to the Defiler. Looks like the Defiler doesn't even come out of the Overlord. It's a bit of a mistake there. If he just Dark Swarmed that, he could have kept that lurker there for a lot longer and kept denying mining. But as it is, he's going to lose his 9 o'clock base now. Not much he can do about that. He's going to maybe kill a few more Marines here with those lurkers, but definitely losing that hatchery. Now, in response to that, he's taking the 6 o'clock, as well as, you know, retaking this bottom right natural. Meanwhile, some more army coming in, reinforced, but oh man, he's walking in the line, does not want to be doing that against this siege up position. Look at this, 5 siege tanks well spread out in good positions, and Julia's just expanding all over the place. I think this is because he had so many excess minerals that he's just like, well, I just might as well make a whole bunch of bases, make expansions faster than the Terran can kill them. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if that's a winning play in this position. Sometimes that works, but in this case, I mean, look at this, Terra's almost maxed. He's at 180 supply, and Julia's not even at 100 supply. He's just so far ahead in the supply right now in the macro, and is now sending a few more units over to the top left. A few units here at the bottom right are going to get cleaned up, and actually this 3 o'clock expansion is a little bit exposed, because of course, you know, Julia does have those bottom right bases, so he can actually send small backstabbing armies here relatively easily, and it's actually slightly problematic. Now TerrOr should be getting some more reinforcements over here soon, but the Lurkers are now in position. There's one tank in the back, but these Lurkers can kill a lot of SCVs if he's not careful. Listen, the SCVs are going to pull back a little bit here. And the tank, there's no detect. Oh no, there's a turret in the back, but now the turret's gone. There's a scan. Alright, there's a scan, and oh, the Lurker is going to try and get some SCVs. Not going to happen. Meanwhile, the 6 o'clock base is going to fall. So we're at 4 base against 3 now. If Julia can hold this one, hold on to this one, he's going to be okay. I'm still a little bit surprised, actually, that he has so little gas. He must really be spending that gas. He's even got 4 guys on his natural gas. He does have a greater spire as well. I don't know how he can afford this. He's going Hydro Lurker with, you know, fast hive tech and defilers, and he's going greater spire. That is just an insane amount of gas that he's trying to use, and that he just doesn't have. I mean, he keeps losing his 3rd gas. He's finally mining on 4 gases, but he's not been mining it for very long. So you can see, again, he's just so low on gas. Although it looks like TerrOr making a bit of a blunder here, giving up some free siege tanks. Yeah, TerrOr still has such a supply advantage as now he's moving in. There's no defiler here, the crucial defiler, which is needed for this defense. And, oh, blaming the lag. Good old Julia, staying classy to the end. And TerrOr takes game number 3. So TerrOr is now up 2-1 in the series. He is 1 game away from taking 3rd place. Julia will have to win the next 2 to win the best of 5. So we're going to be back for game number 4 after this break.